Hey Gavax here, welcome to Notes from the Madden Underground. Well, the main topic today is going to be the title update, aka the patch, and the main frustrations around them this year. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things they brought, some of the things they didn't, and a little bit of, are you guys doing the old tab open, sound off, going grinding for your free 88s? We'll talk about that in a little bit and how by having their EA stream in the background going. But anyways, the patch. Let's talk about that first before we talk about schemazing cards out of MUT. So we've talked about a lot on this channel, Gingerbread Man and the things they fix quickly, the things they don't fix quickly, and gameplay. I understand. I do more than anybody that there are things that are hard to do and things that are not so hard to do. And changing a set in EA's MUT is not that hard to do, whereas fixing gameplay with coding on the field, we're led to believe is just a Herculean task, something that requires a bunch of labors, so they don't change it this year. We have seen them change this plenty of times in the past. Remember, we've had these January patches where we've gotten Mike Scrape 3 fixed back in 16. We've changed the meta previously. Last year, they introduced a fall forward bug, and I think that's a lot of reasons why they have the gun shyness that they have right now, because of the bugs they've introduced, and the community's kind of yelled at them. I remember I listened to, I can't name the guy right now because I forgot, but he was a Microsoft developer during the Ballmer era, and he said that they kind of had the culture of, if you screw up, you'll get shit on more than it's worth actually doing work. So you had a whole bunch of developers afraid to do their job, and that's what it feels like is happening here. They are afraid to change their game because the community or the management yells at them for changing it, for having these bugs that are introduced. And the thing is, what they need to do ideally is not be afraid of changing their product, but be afraid of putting out a bug by testing it. Make sure their game testers can get into it. Maybe have like other games, like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It's a ton of other games. Battlefield had this. I don't think they do in 5, but they've had test servers. They might have it in 5 too. I just don't play on a PC. As I knock over some cups. So, like, have a test server. This is exactly what we're talking about. House rules would be a great way of bringing in the test patches, the test changes, so we as a community could help develop and fix some of these bugs, find them, so that way they don't all require on a couple people paid $12 an hour to find these bugs, because they don't really care, but we do. Right? I mean, I'm not going to say they don't care about their job, but it just feels like they don't care about their job because of how many bugs have slipped through with testing in the past. So even if you can't do a patch every month like you had, maybe save it for a couple months and actually fix a lot of the problems if it's so tough and you hope to not introduce new bugs, right? So there are many solutions around this, hey, don't patch it, don't change it mentality that it feels like the gameplay team in Madden has right now. I would love a test server, a test zone for Madden that we can play on the new patch to show them this. Like, whether we have to download a whole new game like I did have for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on Xbox or not, that would be amazing to make that happen, especially next generation, as we're going to get that in November, I think, is when those consoles are launching. So, with the patch today, there's a lot of things for new Superstar X Factors. I don't play regs online. I don't really give a shit about this. The one controversy that came about with this was there was an article. So Madden put in a Nike cleat that makes players better. And I saw some frustration. People like, man, this is whack. I hate these customizable things that make players better. It feels like only these players will be good. I mean, they act like this is going to actually unbalance the game. And like, it's so weird. They're like, oh, only players that has sponsorship deals with Nike now will be any good because they get +1 speed. You know what they do? We've seen this so much in MUT. When players get these boosts, they just lower their speed. Like, how many years ago was everybody putting the speed boosts for golden tickets? They just lower the golden ticket speed by 1, right? That, like, this is something that I see a lot of people freaking out about, but, you know, there are so many ways to balance around this. And I get it, EA's got a poor track record with balance that people's frustration are, you know, there's a lot of validity to it. But this is not a big issue to me. They're putting in pay to win is what they say, which I don't know if you can pay to win in franchise mode. Online franchise maybe, but again, online franchises, I guess, I don't know. Like the players getting the special footwear, just these guys and Dieter. But in the end, abilities cause way more of a balance issue than stats do right now, in my opinion. Obviously, speed is the most important stat, so I have not seen that. I don't really play franchise, don't really see the CMC on the field very much at all. Whoops, let's go back to the gridiron note. So I think having customizable equipment in MUT would be fucking wonderful. Franchise players are freaking out because of change, but I think if this was in MUT, I would love to add different cleats, different boosts. I'd love different position coaches that can play, that can add different stats and maybe negatives, kind of like we have physical chems now, to my certain players on the squad. I think that would be a great give and take, or kind of choose and equip your team and make them better. So more customizable equipment would be great. And getting off that, we're gonna circle back to gameplay a second. Let's get to the MUT, since you just saw a little bit of a teaser of it right there when I flashed over the game. Add a new functionality with play calls and cooldown limits, and added the ability to choose font art of specific Madden Ultimate Team items. Now, you can see it's only on NFL 100 cards right now, and their power-ups. You can go into them. You can change their art around. So I switched around all my players to different artwork. Mean Joe Green, I spent the 500 training to get his picture on it, as I thought that was a really cool one. I didn't like his other pictures. Reggie White, I went here, and I'll show it to you. You just go to the upgrade screen. And I picked out his picture because it was my favorite of the options. So like all the previous arts that he's had, you can use it as the art on the card for your top end card. Right there. See, these are all free. We talked about this a little bit the last couple days, but here's the one you have to pay for. I don't know if they have to pay the artist to be able to use these. That's why it costs you training, for them to try and recoup some of their costs or whatever. There's the traditional artwork, but yeah, I like this championship run artwork personally the best. So that's what I used on my Reggie White. I don't know, I just kind of like the color scheme behind it. It's just a little personal taste. Everybody's taste different. It looks kind of smooth with all their NFL 100 stuff, like this Mean Joe Green artwork. I freaking loved it. Really cool all-time team NFL 100. So, and then I got Bobby Bell's power up. I don't know, it was just a funny face he was making. So even though it looks like a low-end card, 96 overall, because we've been so used to just the base power-ups being so underwhelming all year. But anyways, I like that ability. I like the ability to add fashion choices like Fortnite, to add customizable stuff. I would love for the ability to customize them on the field even. I would love to see out there swag on people. Maybe if you have like special shiny cards, then all their entire body would be like, I don't know about, because you need your uniforms to be the same. Maybe their shoes and their helmet is extra shiny. I don't know. More stuff to add to allow us to customize our team more is always a good idea. Just cosmetics is the perfect way of doing this. So a lot of people are like, oh, cosmetics and plus ones. And I think adding more depth to MUT is just wanted. At least I want it. I don't know about you guys. But back to this. The functionality of a new play call, cooldowns, and limits. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. So it'll be included in house rules. Obviously, they talk about, they'll probably want to expand this to franchise. Maybe give it a setting to turn it on or off. I like it. Something to give us a little bit of change of pace. So play call cooldowns means after you call a play, you'll have to wait a few plays before you can call it again, to limit a little bit of the spam that people complain about, and then limits the amount of times you can call it per game. Now, I know there are so many different formations with so many different stretches and so many different playbooks, so potentially the cooldown's not that big of a deal. The limit might not even be that big of a deal for a lot of those things, but we'll see tomorrow how much it actually changes up house rules, if house rules is our entire game lengths, to get whatever tickets or MasterCard, whatever, for the next 7 days, because this one was like 15 of them for a Super Bowl ticket. We'll see how many wins it will be for a Super Bowl ticket over the next 7 days too. So I personally like the play call cooldowns and limits and lock of the play calls. We'll see what they do with audibles. He said it also works on defense. Jake Stein did. And with that said, all that nice new additions to Ultimate Team, I think we're going to go to the gameplay portion of it. No, we're going to do one more thing on Ultimate Team before I go on my gameplay rant. Ultimate Team. So monthly rewards. There's an interesting little figure right here. I don't know if you guys can really see it. Let me see if I can't zoom in a little bit on it. So, right here. Ultimate Legend options. So, this is coming next Friday, February 7th. We have always had Ultimate Legends, not always, but the last few years, Ultimate Legends have launched on a Friday, generally Friday night. Now, these are coming at 2 p.m. Eastern on a Friday, so Ultimate Legends will most likely be out before then. Whether they launch Thursday night, whether they launch Friday morning, whether they launch this Saturday, like some people say, we don't know. All we know is that we're coming in Weekend League rewards next week for top 100 players. So people are speculating, hey, we're getting Ultimate Legends this weekend. I still think we're getting it next Friday like we traditionally get it, because that's what has always happened, and EA likes to sometimes keep that same similar schedule. Maybe we get it Saturday. Maybe they blow our back out with a new Megatron. I still think they're going to want to focus on the Super Bowl and not give us Ultimate Legends before the Super Bowl. But again, that's all guessing, okay? So this weekend, hopefully we can get a blitz. Hopefully get some more Super Bowl cards. I mean, there's still some clutch Super Bowl players. Like I know Honey Patcher still needs a card. All those players still need cards. So where are they? I'm guessing they're this weekend, if not tomorrow. So Ultimate Legends, though, we are getting them next week confirmed. Obviously on the roadmap they had that confirmed too. So back to gameplay and what we got with gameplay. Let's see if I can't get to it. Gridiron notes. Gameplay improvements. I didn't even do it quick. There it is. So gameplay updates. They added logic to prevent pressure and accurate throws versus run commit defense. Nice, because run commit defense, if you can stop the run, especially like squads, I heard this was bad. You run commit in squads to stop the run, and then you use your like 3 deep safeties. So you basically send an 8 at them, using all sides of the ball, and hopefully knocking down some routes, and you know, that's very tough defense. But right now, because it causing those quick throw and accurate passes, made it extra special cheese. That's like that fucking 20-year-old cheese that costs you 10 times as much as regular cheese. Really cheesy. So cool, I guess that was a bug. I mean, it feels like this year they've been trying to stamp out more bugs than actual fixing of the metas, and it's not something I really love, right? They added the out of position fumble penalty, wide receivers playing running back. I tested today on stream. Wildcat still works, but putting in your wide receiver through sub formation screens will cause a little bit more fumbles. So they did that to balance out that one very specific thing. They fixed an issue causing the wrong snap receiver using audibles of Saints, Taysom Hill slot formation, and an issue sometimes causing shovel pass animations. So like this was the only like quote unquote meta change that they made in this patch. And as somebody who plays this every day, it is fucking frustrating. It is just beyond frustrating that they're not listening. I don't know who they're listening to. Like I think a lot of this comes down to people making money off competitive Madden. And you listen to these players that play the game a lot, but the problem is a lot of their gameplay, and they master these plays, and if you nerf their plays, they get very angry because their entire income is based off of these plays. So having them dictate, hey, don't nerf this thing that I run because it's super underpowered, because I wouldn't run something overpowered, right? You're basically, to them, taking money out of their pocket because you're nerfing what they do. So going to these biased sources to talk for gameplay improvements is obviously wrong, right? I think you should listen to them, but you should understand where their biases lay. I'm not saying people that are biased can't give good input. It's just you have to know that where it's coming from. And so when they don't want a change to the game, I don't think that's necessarily 100% set in stone something you should do, right? You should listen to all the community. Like, you need to listen to, like, look at your metrics. How many average yards per play does this gain for defense? How much does it let up? How much is it called is a super important part. Like, when the meta gets stale in a game, no matter what you call effective, what's not effective, if it is literally every game plays the same online, that is super boring for your player base. I don't care if they're making money off the game. You need to make the game entertaining first. And having a player base that is just absolutely bored out of their mind playing the game, playing what seemingly is the same player over and over and over. Football is a tremendous sport because it is so varied. The amount of plays that are in offensive playbooks this year is amazing. The amount of plays in offensive playbooks this year that are used is such a smaller subset of that it's frustrating that it feels like we're looking at the universe, but we can only touch the earth. It's great, it's wide, but like we're just kind of stuck in this rock. But that doesn't mean we can't reach for it, right? So we need to reach for the ability to open up playbooks. We need to reach for the things, and we need to stop the like same things just being overpowered. And when they do become overpowered, when they do become overused, hopefully the developers can see that and they can kind of fix that and go forward with the meta and adjust the meta going forward. Because corner routes, contain blitzes have been something for 3 years. And I understand business. I understand right now the move down to 21. I get it. So we probably won't see that thing now, even though we have seen meta patches in the past. I get it. Okay. It's just frustrating because I know they're not. I know they're capable of making these changes. It's just frustrating that they aren't. And as a player who plays it every day, it sucks that the game has the same problems on day one that it has now 6 months. It has been 6 months that we've been playing Madden 20, and the same meta is here. And I don't know why they aren't listening to players that just play the game but not for money, right? Like, YouTubers play the game for money for YouTube, but whatever scheme you run has no effect on the revenue. So, like, if you go to YouTubers asking us, hey, should we make pack odds worse? We're like, no, make them better. That makes our packs better. That makes better viewing on YouTube. So, like, we'd be biased, right? Because we want better pack odds, because we want better videos. So, but it's the same thing as, like, if you go to a competitive player, hey, do you want us to nerf stretch or Lamar Jackson QB draw? Do you want us to nerf this specific rollout corner route? They'd be like, no, dude, I make money off that. Don't nerf that. So just understand biases and who you're talking to, please, when you take feedback going forward. Please try and get more of a wider range of opinions on the game. Because this year, they've been talking about for so many years, like, oh, patches ruined Madden. Patches haven't ruined Madden. Madden's been ruined. It's from day one. So, going forward, I hope next year and into the future, they do end up changing the meta more. Please, please, please. We need some fucking fixes to this fucking broken-ass game. And that's all I got to say about that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are grinding for your free 88 just by having something going on in the background like I am. Right there. Just pause it, go down. Oh, I guess I could show you where in-game you get those tokens for 3 days, 3 hours, 3 days in a row. Free training, essentially. I sold off my Sermon. Didn't love the card. He was fine. Just wasn't the greatest. Oh, there we are. We're farming packs, too. So, it's going to be another 5 months or so until the new Madden. Wait, July, 5, 6 months. 6 months. Would you say it's solid? I think it's pretty good, I guess. I can open those farmed packs here for the end of the video on this notes from the Madden Underground. Whoops, wrong one. Silver pack. Back. And we'll open one of them, see what we get. We'll see if we can't get some YouTube luck. Elite. Elite, sweet. Silver, gold. Hell yeah. So, free coins, free training. Get it. Grind them. All right. Thanks for watching. Call to action. I'll see you tomorrow.